Hello, this is Dylan Miller on Daily Dose of Dylan. Google Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, or iHeartRadio, or wherever you may be and however you may be listening. This is Dylan Miller, Daily Dose of Dylan. Alright, so, coming up, I will talk about the NBA trade deadline. Let's see, what else do I got? I'm going to redo my mock draft. I will reveal my lock of the week this week in March Madness, the Sweet 16. It's not Gonzaga, by the way. It's none of the one seeds, actually. The lock of the week is none of the one seeds this week. It is someone else. And I will also reveal my pick to win the whole tournament. And I'll even reveal my runner-up. So, I don't know if did I mention about the NFL draft? I'm going to redo my mock draft now that there is a trade. Alright. So, the NBA trade deadline happened yesterday. A fair amount of noise, nothing crazy. Some contenders added pieces, but I don't think it's going to shift any of the odds to win the championship. The odds to win the title are still Nets are the favorite, Lakers are second, and the Clippers are right behind at third. You know, I don't really agree with the Clippers at 3 because, I mean, I don't think they're even I don't think, because I think the Bucks are better, Sixers are better, you know, and honestly, Rondo is not a big addition either. He's a Hall of Famer, but he's averaging 4 points a game right now. And you may have... I don't think any of you knew he was in Atlanta. You know, I think the Heat and Nuggets added a good role players. You know, Oladipo is averaging 20 a game. And Aaron Gordon's a good role player for the Nuggets to have. So, you know, I just... Not a lot of buzz in the trade deadline, but definitely... pieces were added that could contribute to a possible title run. So I saw a question today. Who will fall out of the playoffs in the East? Because the Bulls yesterday got Vucevic. Very underrated player. Maybe the most underrated player in the league. I don't know. Very debatable. But he's definitely underrated. That is not a debate. And the Celtics, they're only a game and a half behind the Celtics, who are the 8 seed right now. So right now the Bulls have LaVine, who is averaging 28 a game. Vucevic is averaging 25 and a double-double. Kobe White, is that his name? Yeah, Kobe White, he's averaging 15 a game. So they don't have a bad roster. They're doing pretty well. But, so that's like a contender for the 8 seed. So who would fall out there? And, you know, Vucevic I feel like him and LaVine will work well together. And they might make the playoffs. I mean, I don't think that would be crazy to say that. You know, the Raptors, they kept Kyle Lowry. I think the reason they kept him is because, no one wanted to deal with his contract. I think that was the reason. You know, I heard the Lakers were in a push for Kyle Lowry. Actually. But, you know, they might be in trouble, the Lakers, because I've heard LeBron might be out 3 to 5 weeks now. You know, with just LeBron in the playoffs, I think you'll get to in the playoffs for the Lakers, if they just have LeBron, I think they'll get to the Western Conference Finals at best. If they have just AD, they'll hardly get to the second round. And obviously, if they have both LeBron and AD, I think they're the favorite to win it. But we'll see what happens. I hope they get back. You know? Because, I mean, the Lakers, I think they're just... You know, it would be great if they, go in as, a 6 seed and just blaze through the playoffs no matter what. It's going to be tough, though, because there's also home court advantage now. You know, last year there was no home court advantage. So, we'll see what happens. I think the Blazers. I want to know how far they will go. I mean, they're the 6th seed right now, but they're not. They're kind of a dangerous team. I feel like with Dame playing very well. They're a dangerous team. So, we'll see. I mean, 2 years ago, they were in the Western Conference Finals and ran into the Warriors with Kevin Durant. So they're a dangerous team, especially with Dame playing this good. I'd watch out for the Blazers, definitely. Another question that's been going around, would you rather see underdogs win or the favorites win in March Madness? Honestly, why not see both? Why can't we see both win? Let's say, obviously you want to see the fun teams in there, but Loyola's a fun team, that's why I kind of want them to beat Oregon State, because Oregon State is very fun to watch, I wouldn't mind seeing Loyola go far, because they're a fun team to watch. I understand both sides of the argument, the people who like the favorites just want to see the good teams play, and the people who like the underdogs like a good Cinderella story. So I get both sides. I like to see both, honestly. And I normally we normally get that each year. So that's I actually, how I filled out a bracket. I have Baylor winning it all against Houston. I think the Final Four goes like this. Baylor beats Gonzaga. Houston beats Michigan. I had that at the beginning of it. It's... I just don't... I feel like... I thought Michigan had a problem coming in with Isaiah Liver not being there. And what's that? Auburn had one of their best players out a couple years ago, made it to the Final Four, and wound up losing to Virginia, I believe. I think that's going to happen to Michigan. So I think Michigan beats Florida State, Alabama beats UCLA, Michigan beats Alabama in the round of 8, so they go to the Final Four. Loyola beats Oregon State, Houston beats Syracuse, Houston beats Loyola, and then Houston and Michigan State play. Houston wins. Gonzaga beats Creighton. I think Oregon beats USC. I got that first. I feel like I just have a feeling. And then after that, Gonzaga does beat Oregon. Then I got Baylor beating Villanova and Arkansas beating Oral Roberts. Baylor beating Arkansas. And then Baylor beating Gonzaga. And then they go to the final with Houston. And that's what happens. Because I just think I would like to see Michigan go far. I have nothing against them, but I just feel like Isaiah Liver being out, it's going to be rough for them. So, Baylor's winning it. Houston's is going to be the runner-up. And Gonzaga and Michigan will be upset in the final round. And the thing about the overall 1 seeds is they always look like the best team in basketball, in the regular season. But then I'd say, in the round of 64, from the start of the regular season to the round of 64, they look like the best team in basketball. But then in the round of 32, you see kind of a decline. What was the last normal year for March Madness? Was it 2019 with Zion Williamson and everyone? Yeah, because Virginia won that. Alright. Who'd they play? Okay, yeah. So, round of 32. You saw Duke, they played UCF and almost lost. RJ Barrett had to get a rebound. I remember the game. I saw it live. And then they beat Virginia Tech by 2. You know, it was just like, you just kind of looked at it like, I don't know. It's kind of uncertain. They're winning a lot of close ones. They don't look like the best team in basketball, you know? It was just kind of inevitable that they would lose. Because, like, Gonzaga, they look like the 1 seed right now. I mean, they do. I mean, I might have to switch it up. I mean, I'm not gonna switch it up and say, like, oh, I'm the smartest guy in the world, but, you know, I might switch it up because Gonzaga is, I mean, it was just one round in the round of 32. They did look like the 1 seed last round. And that's normally where people start falling off, but they handled Oklahoma pretty handedly, but I think this is the real test against Creighton. If it's a close game against Creighton, I'll start questioning it. If they win by more than 10, then I'll be like, then I'll lean into it a bit more. But right now, Gonzaga's playing like the 1 seed. And, Duke was not. At the round of 32, they were struggling already. Alright, so I went on Basketball Reference today. I do it a lot. But I came across a stat. It was Hall of Fame probability. They crunched numbers with, like, how many times you had an assist and all that. You know, titles and everything. So, LeBron, CP3, and KD are 100%. They're making the Hall of Fame, and I 100% agree with that. Steph and Harden are right below at, like, 99. They're going to make it. Kawhi is currently at .79. He does have 2 titles and 2 Finals MVPs, so it's tough to argue with that, but .79 I think is going to be good enough to make him in there. And Dwight Howard's in there too, and I think he's kind of ruining that case, like destroying it by playing longer, because before he turned 30, he had 5 rebounding titles and 8 All-Star selections. He also made the finals once too, before he was 30. But I feel like as he gets older, he's just declining more and more, and he's destroying his case more and more. And Rondo really shows up in the playoffs. I mean, he's 6th in playoff assists, right behind Tony Parker. I think LeBron is 1. No, Magic is 1. LeBron is 2. But I feel like Dwight Howard's kind of destroying his case by playing longer. But I feel like he's putting together a pretty good year recently. What are his stats this year for Dwight Howard? I know he's on the Sixers now. Yeah, I guess good for his role. For his role, that's good. Those pretty good stats. I mean, 6 points isn't very impressive, but 8 boards, he's shooting pretty efficiently from the field at least. But, I feel like he's destroying his Hall of Fame case. By playing longer. So the NFL draft is coming up, and I think a message a lot of the teams should take is if you don't get your QB this year, you won't get it next year. And I have said Jimmy G is a great temporary solution. I think what you should do is draft his backup. But I think you should start Jimmy G at the beginning of the year and draft his backup. I think that's the best thing to do. But if you're talking long term, you should draft another quarterback. And they traded up to the 3rd pick this year. And you don't trade up to the 3rd pick to draft a backup quarterback. I mean, the Packers drafting Jordan Love at 26, like a backup quarterback at 26.